It was over 2 years ago that my wife and I and our 3 kids moved to Cape Town, South Africa to start our Hillsong church there. And it's been an awesome, amazing adventure, and we love it. And I'm missing our church home. I've been hearing all about what happened in church today. We had to have 6 services in our church in Cape Town because we couldn't have our normal building, and it's just a miracle what's going on. People are getting saved, and great things are happening. But you know, one of the things that we wanted to be all about, and I'm sure you understand this, is looking at how we could be some example of what it is to truly be going out there and meeting the needs of those who are broken and hurting in our city. And in South Africa, you have rich and you have poor, and you have a whole lot of people living very broken, impoverished lives. One of the things we started to do was give out wheelchairs to those who were very poor and in need and disabled. We started giving out these wheelchairs, and one of the places we went into was a school called Tembaletu, which is a word that means our hope. We went into this school and we started giving out these wheelchairs to kids who couldn't afford to have a wheelchair of their own, and we're blown away by how beautiful these kids were. Biggest smiles, coming up to you, giving you a hug, and living in the most tragic of circumstances, and yet so full of love. And we understood why when we met the headmistress, the principal of the school, an amazing lady who'd been there for over 20 years. And she said, my whole passion for this school, what we are all about in this school, is teaching these young people that no matter what their physical disability may be, they can still make a significant difference in the society and the world that they live. Their life still has immense value. And she's telling these kids, and we're like, wow, you're awesome. And so we decided as a church we wanted to do something more, to be a blessing, because this school doesn't get a lot of government support. The government resources are stretched with all of the need. And so we had an offering for our own needs as a church. We don't have a building or anything like that because, we're only new. But out of that offering that we had, we wanted to give some of it. So we said to this lady, we want to give towards the school. We want to do something to help you guys. She said, well, our big need is for accommodation. We need to do something because so many of these kids travel 2 or 3 hours to get to school every day. They leave before the sun comes up. They get home by the time it's dark. Many of them are vulnerable to abuse in the homes of the areas that they live. They're not really, many of them aren't really even proper homes. They're kind of shacks. And she said, what really broke her heart was when kids started coming to school, and some of them were going through the rubbish bins at the school looking for food because they weren't getting any nutrition or nourishment at home. Vulnerable to abuse, not having the sanitary conditions that they need, many of them, for the situation that they're in. She said, hey, would you be able to help us? We need to do some accommodation so the kids can live at the school and we can provide for them, and we can then give them dignity and give them the education that they rightly deserve. We said we'd love to be involved. We don't have much money, we're just getting started, but we'll do what we can. And I'm thinking maybe we could help renovate a room or something, help out. And she said, well, actually what we need is accommodation for 100 kids. Yeah, wow. 100 disabled kids. Building accommodation, that's like building a hotel. Well, I've never built a hotel. We don't even have a church building. But we said to her, you know what, we believe in this, so we're going to put in a seed to get this thing going. We're going to do what we can to start this whole process. So we had some architects and engineers in our church who gave up their time and came up with a plan of how we could build something and put it together. And we weren't sure, how's the money going to come in? And we had this plan. We started showing her and talking to her about it, and she's getting excited, but we're saying we don't know if we can do this, but we just want to show you this is the plan, this is the dream. And then I was in Sydney in December last year talking to Pastor Brian, our senior pastor, and Pastor Gary Clark from our Hillsong Church London, and telling them about this whole deal, and they said, hey, we want to get on board. I think together we can contribute to getting this thing going. And I said, well, this is what it's going to cost. And they said, well, we can put some money in so we can start this and get it going. And I just, got so excited. I went back to the principal and I said to her, hey, guess what? There's some money coming in from our family, our church family, and we're going to be able to help get this thing established. Let me tell you, she got so excited, she started crying. Then she gave me a big African mama hug, and I'm telling you, it was just an awesome moment right there. But I said, we're going to get this thing started. We got some money coming in now, and we're beginning the process. We had to do all that you need to do to make sure it's going to be done legitimately and properly through the government and all of that, and it's all going to get started. But we're still a little way away from being able to build it the way we want it, because we want it to be beautiful. And so talking to the guys coming on tour, we were like, hey, it would be cool if some of our family in the United States would like to get involved and help us with this project. And some people can do something, and others, hey, you may not be in a position to do something. But a really simple way that we said, hey, maybe people want to contribute and could give, say, $10. And if enough people do that, we're going to be able to go and tell Mrs. France, the principal, hey, guess what? This thing is going to be completed and it's going to be awesome. So one of the ways which we thought would be really simple is, if you want to, this is the only moment where you can get out your mobile phone. You can get it out now, and you can SMS to the number on the screen, 85944. You can text iHeart to that number, and then it will say, would you like to make a $10 donation? Now, if you understood the condition that most of these kids live in, you would probably realize that you can go without the $10 and you're still going to be okay. Most of us here. And I want you also to understand that if you do choose to contribute and be part of this, that money isn't going to some separate organization somewhere. We as a local church are putting this whole thing on, so all the money is going to the school. And we're going to do something phenomenal. And so if you want to be a part of it, you can right now get out your phone, you can SMS that number, you can put, iHeart in, then it'll say, do you want to do this? And you can put in yes. And then you have to put your mobile phone away, because if you keep it out for the rest of the night, it will blow up. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I believe that together we could do something really significant for these kids and see them understand what it is to experience the love of Christ from the family all over the world. If you want to know more, we do have brochures available out in our resource area.